Maybe you started watching porn when you were 11 years old. Maybe it was 12, 13, 14. But now you're 30, 35, maybe even 40 years old. When you actually stop and think about how long you've been doing this, it scares you. Because we're not just talking about a couple of months, we're talking about decades, thousands and thousands of videos, thousands of hours spent in front of a screen, years of training your brain to respond. Maybe you've watched things today that would have disgusted you 10 years ago. Maybe you're married now and you don't respond to your wife the way that you think that you should. Maybe you're struggling with erectile dysfunction. Maybe you can't stay present during sex without fantasizing. Maybe your libido feels completely lost and screwed up. Or maybe you finally quit porn. Instead of everything immediately getting better, you feel worse. And now there's this question sitting in the back of your mind. Did I permanently screw myself up? Did I damage my brain? Did I destroy my sexuality? After watching porn for 10, 15, maybe 20 years, can I ever finally feel normal again? Brother, if you've asked yourself any of these questions, I want you to stay with me today because I spent the last 6+ years helping men not just break free from pornography, but actually restore their lives. But long before I ever became a coach, I was the guy asking these same exact questions. I was first exposed to pornography at just 6 years old, and I spent nearly 30 years of my life addicted to porn. It evolved as I evolved. Magazines became the internet became high-speed video. Eventually, we had unlimited pornography available in our pockets 24 hours a day. And over those years, I trained myself over and over and over again. So if anybody had a reason to believe that I've been doing this for too long, this is just how my brain is going to work, maybe this is just who I am, brother, I could have believed every single one of those things. But today I've been free for years, and I've watched countless other men who spent decades trapped in this same cycle rebuild their lives as well. So today I want to answer this question honestly, not with internet bro science, not with fear, not with some ridiculous promise that if you don't watch porn for exactly 90 days, your brain will magically reset itself. I want to show you actually what we understand of what years of pornography use can do. And more importantly, what you can do about it. Because there's a massive difference between permanently damaged and being deeply conditioned. And understanding that difference could completely change the way you approach your recovery. Guys, welcome to the Rebuilt Man podcast. My name is Coach Frank Rich, host and founder here. It has been our mission for the last 6 years to help men just like you, those caught up in the depths of pornography addiction, take back control, reclaim their identity, and rebuild their lives. If you're new to the podcast, make sure to hit that subscribe button. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure to turn those post notifications on. But before we get too deep here today, here's what I want you to understand first. Your brain learns from what you repeatedly do. This is one of the reasons that habits become habits. Repeated experiences create associations. And if you spent years watching pornography, think about what you've practiced. Maybe you're stressed, alone. You pick up your phone, you start searching, you see an image. That image leads to another image. That leads to a video. Another category, another search, more novelty, more stimulation. Eventually, you masturbate, you orgasm, and then you tell yourself, I'm never doing this again, until the cycle repeats itself. And every time you run that cycle, you're practicing it. There's a cue, there's anticipation, there's a craving, a behavior, and then comes a reward. Cue, anticipation, craving, behavior, reward, again, and again, maybe thousands of times. And research into compulsive sexual behavior and problematic pornography use has found that sexual cues can become incredibly powerful for some people. Your brain begins paying attention to those cues. It learns to anticipate them. It learns what's coming next. And eventually, you can find yourself wanting pornography before you've been consciously decided that you want it. This is something I hear from men all the time. They'll say, Frank, I didn't even know why I did it. I wasn't even enjoying it. Halfway through, I wanted to stop. I felt immediately terrible afterwards. So why did I go back 3 days later? And there's actually an important distinction researchers have looked at between wanting something and liking something. You can develop a powerful drive towards something even when the actual pleasure you're getting from it isn't increasing. Think about how many men reach a point where porn isn't even fun anymore. It's no longer exciting. They're ashamed of it. They're hiding it from their wives. They're losing sleep over it. It's affecting and impacting their work, their confidence, their faith, their marriage, and yet they still go back. At that point, we're simply not talking about pleasure. We're talking about a deeply practiced behavioral pattern. And that's why telling yourself, just don't watch porn has probably failed you repeatedly because you're trying to defeat years of conditioning through willpower. And this is where we need to be careful, because you'll hear some wild claims on the internet. You'll hear porn shrinks your brain, porn permanently destroys your dopamine receptors. You've damaged your brain just like a drug addict. And understand why those statements get attention. We've used them. They're scary. They make great thumbnails, but they're not an accurate way to explain what the research actually tells us. There's been brain imaging studies showing differences associated with heavier pornography use and compulsive sexual behavior. But here's the important part: an association does not automatically tell us what caused what. If researchers observe the difference in the brains of people who consume more pornography, that doesn't automatically prove pornography permanently damaged those brains. The difference could have developed through repeated behavior. Pre-existing differences could make certain people more vulnerable, or both could be happening. Science is very complicated at this point. And I think we do men a disservice when we pretend it isn't. But here's what we can say: when you repeatedly expose yourself matters. What you repeatedly practice matters. What you repeatedly reward matters. Your brain adapts, your expectations adapt, your attention adapts, and eventually your behavior adapts. Your sexuality will adapt as well. So I don't want you walking away from this episode thinking, great, porn didn't affect me. That's not what I'm saying here. I'm saying something completely different. Stop thinking of yourself as permanently damaged. Start understanding that you've been trained. Because if you've been trained in one direction, you can begin training yourself in the other. Now let's talk about sex, because this is where a lot of men get scared, especially married men. Think about what internet pornography allows you to do: unlimited novelty, unlimited women, unlimited scenarios, unlimited categories. You can switch videos every 10 seconds. You can search for exactly what you want. You control everything. There's zero vulnerability, no fear of rejection, no communication, no relationship, no concern about the other person. You consume exactly what you want when you want it for as long as you want it. Now compare that with actual intimacy. One woman, a real human being, emotions, communication, connection, vulnerability, patience, presence, love. Brother, those are two completely different experiences. And if you spent 15 years, your sexual response around endless novelty, searching screens and fantasies, you shouldn't be shocked if real intimacy sometimes feels different. That doesn't mean your wife isn't attractive enough. It doesn't automatically mean something is wrong with your marriage. And it doesn't necessarily mean your sexuality is permanently destroyed. But it may mean you spent years teaching yourself to respond sexually inside an environment that no real woman could ever reproduce. And that's why we tell men recovery isn't simply about getting your erections back. It's not about simply increasing your libido. It's not about simply being able to have sex again. You're rebuilding your capacity for intimacy. Porn teaches you to consume. Marriage requires that you connect. Porn is about taking. Intimacy requires giving. Porn requires nothing from you. Real intimacy requires presence. Becoming sexually healthy again may require relearning things that pornography trained out of you. Now, what about erectile dysfunction? Let's address this big one, because I know some of you clicked on this episode because you're struggling with ED and you're scared maybe you can get an erection without watching pornography. But you struggle with your wife, so you went online, you searched porn-induced erectile dysfunction, and now you've convinced yourself that you're permanently destroyed your penis. Here's what I want you to understand. The research here is more complicated than the internet makes it sound. There are studies connecting problematic porn use with sexual difficulties. There are studies connecting higher pornography consumption with poor sexual satisfaction and sexual functioning in some men. But pornography frequency itself does not consistently predict erectile dysfunction across the research. And that's very important, because erectile dysfunction can have a lot of causes: stress, anxiety, depression, medication, hormonal issues, cardiovascular problems, sleep, relationship issues, performance anxiety, physical health, and yes, your pornography habits may potentially be a part of this picture. But brother, do not diagnose yourself from a YouTube video. If you're experiencing persistent erectile dysfunction, talk to a qualified health professional. Get your health checked and be honest with them about your pornography use. Because the goal here isn't to prove that porn caused every problem in your life. The goal is to actually get healthy. Now you have to stop looking for a magic number. And here's where we see a lot of men completely sabotage themselves. They finally quit. Day 7, why don't I feel better? Day 14, why is my libido low? Day 30, why am I still having urges? Day 45, why doesn't sex feel completely different yet? Then they go online and somebody tells them, just wait until 90 days, bro. And then we create another countdown. Brother, there's no magical scientific number where every man's brain suddenly resets. There isn't a universal 30-day recovery, 60, 90-day recovery plan. And there isn't scientifically established flat line that every man has to experience on the same timeline. Some men absolutely report periods of low libido, of high cravings, of irritability, of feeling emotionally off, of intrusive sexual thoughts. And those experiences may be particularly relevant for men whose pornography use was frequent and highly problematic. But everybody's situation is different. Your history is different. Your health is different. Your marriage and relationships are different. Your psychology is different. Your patterns are also different. So stop asking how many days until I'm fixed and start asking, what am I teaching my brain today? Because that's the question that you can actually control. Now, I want you to think about something here. If you started watching pornography when you were 12 and you're 35 today, that's 23 years. 23 years of repetition, 23 years of reinforcement, 23 years of using porn during stress, boredom, loneliness, rejection, fear, anxiety, and maybe even celebration. Whatever your pattern was, and then you finally quit for 3 weeks and you're frustrated that everything isn't fixed, give yourself some perspective. I'm not telling you your recovery has to take 23 years. I'm telling you to stop expecting decades of conditioning to disappear because you white-knuckled it for 21 days. And more importantly, stop checking every 5 minutes to see if you're healed. This happens constantly. A guy quits pornography, then he starts testing himself. Let me look at this picture and see if I'm triggered. Let me scroll Instagram and see if I can control myself. Let me masturbate just to make sure everything still works. Let me see if I can get an erection. Brother, what you are doing is you're trying to stop reinforcing a pattern while constantly checking whether the pattern is still there. Stop testing yourself and start rebuilding yourself. So what does that actually look like? If you've spent 10, 15, 20, maybe 30 years conditioning yourself around pornography, what do you actually do? First, stop feeding the thing that you're trying to starve. This is simply bigger than saying, what technically I didn't watch porn. Meanwhile, you're scrolling thirst traps, you're searching sexualized content, you're looking at women on Instagram, you're fantasizing for hours, you're constantly checking women out, edging around the same behaviors. We're technically crossing whatever arbitrary line that you've created. Your brain doesn't care about your loopholes. It's trying to change what you're training yourself to respond to. Stop constantly feeding yourself the same cues. Second, you have to change your environment. If your pornography use happens every night at 11:30 while you're alone in bed with your phone, why is your phone still in bed with you? If Instagram constantly leads you back to pornography, why is it still on your phone? If isolation is where you relapse, why are you trying to recover alone? Recovery becomes a lot easier when you stop requiring heroic levels of willpower every single day. Thirdly, is you have to rebuild other areas of your life. Train, exercise, sleep, get outside, work towards something meaningful. Build real relationships, spend time with your wife, spend time present with your children. Build friendships with other men. Pray, read your Bible, serve, learn to create, lead, live your life, because if pornography has been the escape for your life for 20 years, you can't simply remove it and have a giant empty hole. You need to build a life where you no longer need to constantly escape. Fourth, if you are married, you have to relearn intimacy. Stop treating sex with your wife like a diagnostic test. Did I get hard enough? Did I stay hard long enough? Was my libido high enough? Am I fixed yet? You're not even with your wife anymore. You're inside your own head, grading yourself. Slow down, talk, touch, connect. Be affectionate without demanding that everything leads somewhere. Be present. Allow intimacy to become relational again instead of performative. And finally, get help. If you're done dealing with persistent sexual dysfunction, get medical help. If your pornography use feels completely out of control, get professional support where it's appropriate. And brother, stop trying to recover in secrecy, because isolation is where this thing goes. Now, this brings me to the thing I actually think is the most important part of this entire conversation, because I'm less concerned about you believing your brain has been damaged than I am about you allowing your history to become your identity. I've watched porn since I was 12 becomes I'm a porn addict. Then I'm sexually broken. Then I'll always struggle with this. Then this is just who I am. No, your history can explain your conditioning, but your history does not have to define your identity. I was exposed to porn when I was 6 years old. I didn't choose that. I didn't choose what was put in front of me as a little boy. But eventually I had to take responsibility for what was happening next. At 35 years old, I had a decision to make. Was I going to spend the next 30 years repeating the previous 30? Or was I going to become a different man? Brother, that is the decision that is sitting in front of you today. Maybe you spent 20 years becoming the man you are right now. Okay. Start spending today becoming someone different. You can't go back and change what happened when you were 12. You can't erase the videos you've already watched. You can't erase every relapse. You can't erase every decision, but you can decide what you practice today and tomorrow and the day after next. Because here's what I want you to remember when you turn this episode off. You are not completely broken. You have maybe deeply practiced, deeply conditioned, deeply accustomed to responding in a certain way, but patterns can change, behaviors can change. Men can recover from problematic pornography use. I've seen it happen, not because these men discovered the perfect streak, but not because they found some magical dopamine hack. They stopped because they simply stopped trying to quit porn and started rebuilding the man. And this is exactly why we've created the Rebuilt Man Brotherhood, because lasting freedom isn't about escaping pornography. It's about what comes next. We help men escape the cycle, rewire the patterns that have kept them trapped, rebuild their identities, discipline, and integrity, restore their marriages, faith, and relationships, and ultimately lead the life that God is calling them to lead. So if you're watching or listening today and you've been fighting this thing for 10, 15, 20 years and you're scared you've gone too far, brother, you haven't. But nobody is coming to rebuild your life for you. At some point, you have to make the decision. The next 20 years will not look like the last 20 years. And if you're ready to make that decision, come join us inside the Rebuilt Man Brotherhood. You can click the link down in the show notes below or visit school.com, SKOOL.com/reboot your life to get around men who understand this battle, to get the tools, to get the accountability, to get the support, and start becoming the man you know God is calling you to be. Because your past may explain how you got here, but it does not get to decide where you go next. Visit school.com, SKOOL.com/reboot your life to join us today. And brother, we look forward to seeing you on the inside.